This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Stand by for the next program.
Welcome to the interview segment of the Morning Drive on Providence Television International. My name is Ugbebo Ikekwai, and with me in the studio I have Dr. Emmanuel Egariwa. You're welcome to the studio.
Always nice to be here. Always nice to be here. Thank you.
We will this morning be looking at Independence Anniversary, which comes up tomorrow, October 1st. Expectations of Nigerians. Starting from you.
Yes, expectations are huge because there are so many things bedeviling the country right now. Expectations are very huge from Nigerians, both at home and abroad. And I think it's a moment of introspection. We must go inside our inner recesses to be able to connect properly with what this country should look like for now and the future. Honestly, if you ask me, I will tell you straight away that Nigeria is not where it's supposed to be. I was born into a country that was beautiful, a country that was working, a country where you could easily send money abroad for people, students who were studying abroad. Country where you could buy a car 1,000 plus, 2,000 plus, where an average person, a teacher, could build a house from his little savings. That was the country we were born into. Nigeria was a beautiful country. But over the years, I really don't know where we got it wrong. Maybe that will be another subject altogether. But I think for the purpose of this year's celebration, we expect that the president should touch areas of reforms, generally speaking. And they can be in about maybe 5 or 6 areas that Nigerians are really worried about. Okay? First, we must talk about security. We expect that the president should make pronouncements, very profound pronouncements about security. It has been on and on and on, but I think it's sliding on a daily basis. People are still being slaughtered by either kidnappers or bandits on a regular basis. Okay, so the president must talk about that, either to reject the architecture of the security system, or just to make a pronouncement that will assuage the feelings of many Nigerians. We are under siege. Nigerians are under siege. Unknown gunmen, bandits. You know, when I was in the primary school, I never heard of the word bandits. Never. Or kidnapping. We never heard of these things. Ask a little boy now, about 4 or 5 years. He will tell you what kidnappers are. Some of them will even tell you that they want to be kidnappers because probably they know that they pay ransom and all sort of things. I mean, it's as bad as that. So I expect the president to look at this area very critically. Another area I think the president should look at is the area of the economy, vis-a-vis the living standards of Nigerians. That is self-evident. You don't need anybody to tell you more about this. The economy is on the downward trend. Senate President the other day talked about it. Many Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians, are talking about this, that the living standards of Nigerians are getting poorer and poorer. The situation is such that we need the relief from all of this. And Nigerians have been strangulated. And everybody, excluding the elite, they are feeling the pinch. There is no household in this country now, at least majority, up to about 90%. There's no household that is not feeling the pinch. The man is not getting enough to take back home. The woman who goes to the market is complaining every day. The children, most of them have dropped out of school because of issues of money and all of that. So we are going through a spell. Nigerians are going through a spell. And I don't think that this anniversary should fail to look at these areas in preparation for the 65th anniversary next year, which is a milestone event, by the way. So I'm praying in earnest that the president will make very serious pronouncements about some of these things that I'm talking about. Number 3, power, electricity. It's important because you are buying fuel at 1,200 naira a liter, and then there's no power. If there is power, people will not buy fuel much. I mean, the tragedy is on two prongs. Fuel is expensive, electricity you can't get. Okay? Thank God for the borehole system. Otherwise, water will have been added to it. Right? If you're building a house now, there's no house now. If you have an average of about 20 houses on a particular street, 18 of them have boreholes. That's what is saving the situation. Otherwise, the issue of water supply would have been a problem. But that's not a big problem, really. So, but power is a problem, and we must look at it. The government must talk about it. The electoral process, this is very important. The electoral process has brought a lot of negative, very negative news to government. There is no election in the present age that has not come with controversies. And why must we have controversies over a simple process that just refuses to go away? A very simple process, gone awry. Okay, that's what we have experienced in the recent past. And I don't think that it should be. Many countries around Africa look at Senegal the other day. Beautiful transition, Senegal. Less endowed than Nigeria, so to speak. They are changing the format of the electoral process. Nigeria should be the beacon in Africa. Nigeria should be the beacon in terms of doing it right. Virtue of what we go through in electoral processes. Why must we have mayhem? Why must we have militarization? Why must we have ballot box snatching? Why must we even have falsification of results? I'm happy, though, that former President Jonathan said it the other day. They bring all the equipment, all the high-tech equipment to this country. People are going to operate them. So it is the people, rather than even the equipment. Exactly. It is the people. You must psych them up properly to get to realize that there is need for us to have a proper election management process. Exactly. That's the bane of what we're talking about.
Just like this morning, Afenifere came out to make a statement as regards issues concerning elections.
Exactly.
INEC has become, I don't know, personal view, a serious problem.
It's a problem. There is no election that INEC has organized that has been free from controversies, very serious controversies, okay? Across board. Now, Ondo is coming very shortly. What are we going to expect? You remember I said it many, many times on this program that I personally look forward to a day when the winner and the losers will throw soft banters, handshake, even at the venue where election results are being pronounced. They should hug themselves that, yes, that's a fine battle we've gone through. No.
With the present INEC, have we ever see that?
I don't know. But it's possible. It's possible to have a good election in this country. Why can't we have a good election? For a simple process that normally should bring happiness and joy on the faces of the people, for both the losers and the winner. But what do we find in this country? What do we find? So the president must address the issue, use the opportunity of this independence to address the issue. That's number 4, infrastructure. The roads particularly are in a very terrible state. There is nobody who is not talking about the situation on our roads today, particularly those who travel, whether for businesses or whatever. They must talk. See, look at Edo State. A lot of roads empty into Benin or outlets out of Benin. You can't take Agbo Road. It gets back at a point. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
You're very correct.
Auchi Road is a no-go area, going to the north. Okay? Warri Road, going to the Delta area. A friend came yesterday, he went to Port Harcourt. Okay. Rather than spend about 3-4 hours, he spent about 8 hours. Yes. A journey that shouldn't take more than 3-4 hours. 8 solid hours on the road because the road is bad. Okay? So we expect, most Nigerians expect that there must be pronouncements.
Okay.
And one of the things I expect that the president should talk about is this whole idea to rejig the administrative structure.
Okay.
Some ministers have overstayed their time. Remove them. Put more experienced people appointment should not be based, I'm having to repeat myself now, should not be based on merit. There are millions of Nigerians, I'm not talking of thousands, millions of Nigerians who are good enough to raise the banner of this country aloft. Yes, millions of Nigerians. We can spot them without any regard to political affiliation. There are many in the organized private sector. There are people who are totally apolitical. They don't belong to any party, but they are good. They want the interests of this country. They wish for the best for this country. We spot them, look for them. Right? I think it has come to that stage where we should go out for them. People should not lobby. We should go out for them and seek them out. Right? There are fine Nigerians, fine, wonderful Nigerians who can raise up the banner of our glory. And this is the time for the president to do it.
All right, let us look. Do you think that anything should be done as regards the central bank's present stand on its increase in interest rate, especially when it comes to small and medium scale enterprises?
Did we not talk about this a couple of days ago? The frequency of it is the thing that even amazes me. Only a little while ago, I think about 2 or 3 months, I can't remember exactly, interest rate was raised up again. Now we are talking about interest. The latest one is about 27%.
Exactly.
Yes. So if you go to the bank, don't expect that the banks will tell you 27%. There are charges and all sorts of things. And by the time we finish with you, you're about 40%. Which business can thrive on that? And remember, in those days when we were much younger, I mean, they used to tell us that people would go to the banks and interest rate was about 1 or 2%, almost interest-free. Okay? They will even detail, the banks then, I don't want to mention banks now because that would be advertising.
Exactly.
Some of the banks will detail their officers to monitor your business, and particularly for the productive sector. They will detail their officers to look after those businesses, or rather to monitor those businesses, to be sure that you are doing it correctly. How many banks do that now? They don't even have the personnel. Yes, they don't. Come to think of it. They are laying off their personnel on a regular basis. We know that. So the economy is in their streets. And I think that there's room for us to make a total turnaround. Don't let anybody deceive you. Nigeria needs a lot of catching up to do. Not with European countries or Western countries, with some African countries. I mean, look at Rwanda. For instance, we go to Rwanda. I mean, I've been there. I've been to Kigali. It's the most beautiful city in Africa, in spite of the fact that they just came out of the ashes of war. They had a bitter civil war. But go to Kigali, beautiful city. Not compared to Cairo or even Johannesburg. Okay, so it's a thing we must look at.
When you talked about African countries, still on the economy, my mind just went down to even the currency. As regards other countries to Nigerian's currency.
We said that.
We talked about it some days ago.
A few days ago. Even safer. Republic of Benin and Togo. They are safer, stronger.
Stronger than exactly.
Ghanaian city, stronger. Yes. Not to even talk about some East African countries. Look at Ethiopia, for instance. It has about the best airline in the continent of Africa. Ethiopia Airlines. Where is our airline? So there are issues to look at. Where is our national carrier? In those days, Nigeria Airways was the best in the continent of Africa. Nigeria Airways, with a fleet of so many aircraft. Everything suddenly just went down the drain. Even NNSL, Nigeria National Shipping Line, they had vessels. Yes. They sold them all away for personal interest. We don't have, as of today, we don't have a national shipping line.
Exactly.
We don't have. Yes. Where is Nigeria Airways? The other day, they went to, when Buhari was around, they went to paint one, and I mean, it's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Ridiculous
as the case may be. So if you remember very well, just about 2 days ago, the United Arab Emirates, they will be starting, the Emirates will start off flights to Nigeria, and the Minister of Aviation is thinking of having talks so that Nigerian Airways can fly to the United Arab Emirates. Well, I want to say, always an interesting session with Dr. Emmanuel Legari, but once again, thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I know that you would always have a parting shot.
Well, October 1st, this time around, it does not call for celebration, really. It does not call for loud, let me not use the word loosely, it does not call for loud celebration, okay? Even the federal government has said that it's going to be a low-key celebration, and we must take a cue from there. Please, for Nigerians, don't go out drinking to a state of stupor, okay? Because we must do some introspection, particularly in the knowledge that Nigeria is not where it's supposed to be. We ought to be far ahead of what we are now as a country. And I'm sure that with more prayers, particularly from leaders, church leaders, Islamic leaders, we'll get there, depending so much on the faithfulness of God.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Still on the issues as regards 1st October, as the game changer, Providence Television will be having an Independence Day special broadcast. So please stay tuned. Make sure you key in to the program tomorrow. On this note, I want to say, wishing you a wonderful day ahead.